See, it all started on this day, on that day, many moons ago. That way, and it was something that I truly had to face. It was something that I couldn't no longer run from. So I decided to dive deep into the emptiness and to the abyss, into the nothingness, into the void in which I've came from. And when I met her, I looked into her eyes and I knew it was something there. I knew it was something special. I knew it was something legendary there. And I also seen that it was weaknesses and things that would probably interfere, but I was running and I needed to escape. I needed to find exactly what it was I was searching for. So then I connected with her. I expressed things. I showed things that intrigued her and attracted her to me. And we connected. We had fallouts and back and forths and disagreements and disappointments, mostly because it was both of our pains battling each other and nobody wanted to surrender. But she came back to me and surrendered and opened herself to me, and I gladly accepted. I gladly surrendered and appreciated and connected with her and met her and touched her and tasted her and looked into her. And we grew and spent time together. And I gave her that sense of security that I was only for her and that no one else in the world had her back but me. And then we decided to bring our bond even closer and even deeper. And we stayed close with each other, into each other, for each other, through each other, with each other, always for each other. And she spent many nights just looking me in my eyes, deep into my eyes, and telling me that she won't ever leave, ever, ever, ever leave. And she can't see herself, her life, her soul, her heart without me. And I felt that, even though I wasn't in a place to fully show her how I truly felt. So I kept some of my feelings hidden, my care I kept hidden, but I showed care even though I kept care hidden. I deeply cared about her, but didn't fully show her it, didn't fully show her everything that was inside me, all the passion, all the deep desires, all the determination, all of the affection. I just wanted to overwhelm her. But her words touched me deeply, how she won't ever leave me. Because I felt that and I respected that. And at that moment, that's what I needed to hear. But then her fears and her insecurities started to get the best of her. And then the thing, which is me, which she once loved and confessed that she won't ever leave, she won't ever do wrong. She started to do wrong and threaten to leave. And I don't know if she did that to get my attention, to get me, to give her something that was truly deep within me. But I was giving her exactly what I could, what I can, and at the same time trying to hold something for me so I could resurrect my soul. And at the same time, I was giving her my soul, but she didn't notice. So the only thing she noticed was feeling like I didn't notice, like I had no interest, like I didn't notice. And I was acting like I didn't know this, but I noticed how her behavior was changing, listening to her friends, being influenced, being corrupted, being infiltrated emotionally and spiritually, and thinking that people really cared and had her back when deep inside all they wanted to do was tear us apart so they could have her back and have her back where they could have her back and not truly have her back. And that hurt me, but I never told her how much it deeply hurt me that we was breaking apart, that we was falling apart, that we was letting weaknesses come between us. And I was fighting hard because her insecurities and doubts and fears was poisoning my heart. And I had to get space. I had to go, but I always made sure that I came back to her. And every time I came back, it would be so brand new. I would love to see her face, love to touch her, love to be with her, love to feel her, and love to just see her express herself and talk about how much she missed me. And I tell her I miss her too. And then things would go back with kind of usual, but it was still so beautiful. And I didn't take her as seriously as I should have, but I took our connection seriously, very seriously, as I should have. And I wanted to be patient. I wanted to give it time. I wanted to see things unfold, but she became impatient. She became anxious. Her insecurities and her frustration was getting the best of her because she felt like if she didn't have something so deeply secure, that one day it would become insecure, that one day I would finally leave her and not ever look back. But that was never ever my plan. That wasn't ever my plan. Even though I said things to her that would make her feel that way, even though I did things that would make her probably feel that way, but deep inside, I wasn't going that way. Even when I felt I would go that way, deep inside, I wasn't going nowhere. So then, on one last day, she looked me in my eyes and she wanted our bond to be deeply, deeply connected. She wanted us to really be a prize. And I didn't take it seriously because deep inside I was still hurt. I was hurt about everything, and I never actually gave myself a chance to actually heal from it. So the only thing I could do is truly was just laugh and take it lightly. And if she threatened to leave, she threatened to be involved with others. And I shrugged it off because I truly didn't care, but I was still disappointed that somebody that I thought was so solid that the world couldn't get to was finally allowing the world to get to her. And the world got to her. Then she got involved with someone who truly didn't have her best interests at all. And I knew this and I warned her and I told her about it because I still cared. And it wasn't soon after we stopped talking because I was still there, still with her, still beating and breathing inside of her. And then everything that I was trying to tell her to do to fight for us and not give up on us, she started telling me that I was basically the lesson that she learned for her new situation, that she was going to fight for and not give up so easily, even though she already knew it wasn't for her. She was trying her best to literally, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, psychologically, metaphysically get rid of me. And it hurt me. It hurt me. She lied to me. She disappointed me. She gave herself to a loser and it crushed me. And I had to let it crush me. I allowed it to. I welcomed it. I could have easily fought against it, easily overcame it, easily defeated it and conquered it. But I said, you know what? This time I won't allow it to be. I'm going to embrace every single heartbreak, every heartache, every disappointment, every shame moment. I'm going to embrace it, all embarrassment. And I was totally embarrassed and shamed. She dragged me and pulled me emotionally, breaking me down when I'm confessing how much that I cared for her and that I want her back and I didn't want her to go back to the situation she was in because I already seen that it wasn't going to be a situation that she would be happy to be in. And I was truly meaning it, even though to her it was coming off as if maybe he just saying that to be saying that. But deep inside, I was crying inside, wishing that she could finally believe me and not believe what I was saying was a lie. Because every time I confessed these emotions to her, that's when I truly felt alive. And it still broke me down because she didn't break off the situation completely that she had, even though when we tried to repatch things, it still was this there, it still was lingering. And I let it just eat me up. I let it devour me. I let it conquer me and overwhelm me and drown me and make me feel like I wasn't good enough, make me feel like I was less than, make me feel like somebody was better than me, like somebody was doing something better, like somebody was doing something greater, like somebody had the edge over me. Finally, I was allowing it to make me feel like the loser, to make me feel like I was the one unworthy, like I was the one that had to fight for someone who didn't want me back. Many and plenty of times I wanted to give up just because of that, but I learned to be unconditional. I started using my powers of unconditional consideration. So if I give up now, I know that she would be hurting. And I know that deep inside, even though she pushing me away, that she truly has to care about me. She truly has to feel what I feel. And she was destroying me left and right. And I was traveling across the world, feeling empty and lonely. This void that no one else could fill because I wanted her to come save me. I gave her the power to be my savior. I gave her the power to help me come out of my own abyss, to help me finally defeat my emptiness, my void, my abandonment, and my neglect. She was the one that I gave that access to, that I gave that power to. And she was destroying me by not accepting all of me. It was breaking me down, visualizing somebody else holding her and she's sucking on them and they able to see all of her sexiness in a nude. It was destroying me, breaking me down. And I cried, feeling like the one who told me that she wouldn't ever betray me, ever put anyone before me, not even her own self, was finally giving up on me. Broke me down so many times, feeling so empty. I couldn't even eat sometimes. She affected my mood. If things didn't go right well, because we were still talking during this time when she was in a whatever ship, we still talked, we still held on behind the scenes. But I was the one feeling the most hurt. I was the one wishing that the person she was dealing with felt my hurt and would break it off with her. The same way that I would realize when somebody else was truly in love with somebody who was truly in love with me, and I knew I didn't really love them or care or feel the same way that they felt about me, I would tell them to give that person who truly cared about them a chance. And even if it didn't work out, I was happy and satisfied that at least I gave love a chance, even if it wasn't through my own eyes. And I was hoping that person felt some sense of pride, some sense of genuine pride, and some sense of genuine consideration that this person actually cared. But I understood that they couldn't because she was probably telling them that I truly didn't care and giving them detailed description about the things that I made her feel like. So in their mind, they just felt like I truly didn't care. But deep inside, I really cared more than anyone ever cared. In fact, she knew that and admitted that no one has ever cared for her like I did. In fact, it intimidated her and made her feel like she wasn't good enough and unworthy at times. And I think that's what got the best of her and pushed her. And it felt like it was a glass bottle inside of me with a grenade lit on fire, continuously blowing up. And at the same time, it felt like knives was in my heart. This was what exactly the feeling was feeling like the whole entire time. And I walked around with it and I carried it with a beautiful smile like this. And still holding on, dying inside, but still holding on, still being destroyed, still looking at every single person that has somebody with them like how lucky lucky they was that somebody actually cared about them because I didn't understand or know what that felt like because everybody that I truly cared for or thought cared about me always cared for something else and pushed me away. So I started to appreciate those who did have somebody caring for them, and I encouraged them to fight for their relationships and be there for their woman because mine was gone. They was with somebody who I knew couldn't truly love them because how did I know? Because I'm just that special. And the fact that I suffered for them and went through things and was healing myself. Every time I gave them space, they didn't know I was healing myself. When I would travel and leave them for weeks at a time, they probably was thinking I was with other women or doing things. They didn't know that I was healing myself just for them. So this person couldn't care, love them the way I did because they didn't have to go through nothing. They didn't have to earn it. I earned it. I earned them pushing me away. I earned them being mad at me, hating me some days, and breaking down and confessing to me that they truly wasn't happy and they truly just wanted to be loved. I earned that. I earned seeing them break down. I earned seeing them in the real. They just gave themselves to this person and made it easy just to get rid of me. So there was no way this person could care because they didn't have to care. They wasn't forced to care. They didn't have to work for it. They didn't have to really deserve it. But I did on purpose. Many times I could have moved on, moved through, moved forward, but I chose not to. I chose for the first time ever, ever, to truly fight for something, something other than my dreams, to truly fight for a person and make that person my dreams and not give up on them and see where that would take me. And no matter how many times they crushed me and pushed me away and broke me down, even when we try to get back together and they still show signs of the same behavior, and I still felt as if they wished they was with that other person, no matter how that other person did them, still feeling like maybe they wished they was with that other person for any kinds of reasons because they didn't have to live up to a standard or live up to a certain image that I was trying to push them to be or live up to a certain confidence that I wanted them to be. They could just be with somebody who didn't really want them to be much. Maybe that was what they wanted, what would have made them happy. Even when that was breaking me down, like feeling like maybe they wish they was still back in their past. But then knowing that deep inside, I'm what they truly care about the most. Even when they don't want to show it, even when they don't want to acknowledge it, even when they don't want to tell me, even when they don't even want to believe it themselves. I knew the truth. So I want to say thank you because I was finally able to leave the void, leave the abyss. In fact, embrace it. And I turned it into something beautiful where I no longer see the world empty. I no longer feel as if I'm the one forgotten about and left alone. In fact, I acknowledged and came to a level where I realized my loneliness is actually my pureness, my genuineness, me realizing that it's only me. So my loneliness isn't really anything lonely. It's the realization that I am the one. So I'm thankful for the situation. And I let it tear me apart. I let it rip out of me and rip through my soul. And I released all of it. I feel so beautiful, so amazing. Damn, the heartbreak feels so good. It's the greatest form of self love. And I appreciate being neglected. Thank you.